All right, that's the and go. So we have, first of all, I will say greetings, Falcom RTA on the RPG Limit Break channel. My name is Bramhallthefifth, and racing with me today are Tika, EX, and Shano MM. And this will be the E7 Turbo All Bosses Easy category. This basically allows every, turbo-related glitch that can skip, half the game, except for that we will not be skipping half the game. We'll be fighting all the bosses, including the 3 optional side quest bosses. So Tika here is an excellent router of this game. Shano also, to my knowledge, completely invented this category as well. So this will be a very exciting race, I think. And as soon as I get the go for the race countdown, we'll be beginning on difficulty select. So I'll just wait for that command to go through. Or should I do it myself? Okay, so, yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So, if you've been following up with the marathon, you're probably well familiar with Adol Kristen already and his friend Dogi. They're riding a boat, and they will soon safely pull the boat into the harbor at Altigo City for a new adventure. So, to start off, we'll notice this pretty silly looking movement. It's a dodge roll, but you can spam it and say no to this. And that'll be the fastest way we can move for most of the first half of the game. Different characters can actually roll faster than others. For now, Adol is going to be our fastest one, but we'll be recruiting more characters who can go faster than him. So basically, we pull into the harbor at Altigo, and we think we're immediately suspected of being a spy and are thrown in jail. However, this nice man is going to let us out because the king wants to meet us because he knows who we are, because we're very famous at this point in our lives. Adol Kristen has had many, many, many adventures at this point, and now people are starting to know who he is. So he wants us to go check out some stuff. That is the nice tutorial skip there. I say some stuff because we're not going to be really doing it. We're going to be starting off with a pretty sizable skip, but we will be coming back to what we have to do later. So this is the first East game chronologically in release order to include a party system. All the other ones before this were just Adol, but now I can play as Dogi, and so we will immediately let him get eaten alive by chipmunks. This slug does more damage than the chipmunks, actually, but his hitbox is a little strange. So it's kind of hard to get him to hit me. So I did that because we're coming up on what is already probably the hardest trick in the game, made even harder if you have more than one character in the party. So in order to get rid of Dogi, we have to kill him. So I want this guy to come over here. This is going to be our first use of Turbo here. Missed. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Here, I didn't get any SP. Oh my gosh, the chipmunk's in the way. Okay. So, there's kind of a turn back trigger on that bridge there that I just jumped over using the, that skip. What happened was, I'll just explain it really quickly. It's going to be really confusing, but I had to do a dodge roll, and I had to cancel the dodge roll with a charged attack, and then I canceled the charged attack with a skill, and I canceled the skill with a guard, which is the only way that I can kind of guard in midair, which doing that really fast let me launch in the air like that. In order for this to work, you need to use external programs to bind the usage of the skill onto the same button as the guard. Anyway, so the reason I want to do that is because I want to go to a certain boss first before I do anything else, because that boss will unlock the ability to fast travel. So we can actually, what's interesting about the use of turbo in this category is we can actually use 2 turbos. I believe the other 2 runners like to use Steam Turbo, and in addition to the auto clicker and joy to key, I use joy to key and a Kiwami controller, so I have a turbo controller. But basically, this game takes, what do you call it, keyboard inputs and controller inputs separately, so you can do both at the same time, and you can turbo twice as fast. So that'll be useful for like launching really high. We're coming up on our second use of turbo here. This is the Gilda Ross boss fight. Quote-unquote boss fight. So the problem with this boss right now is that we're level 1, and we're not... Oh, well, that's out of bounds. Mulligan. Okay, so I went too high, and I kind of lost control. Thankfully, when you die in a boss fight, you just get to retry from the start. You don't go back to a save or anything. So, as far as I know, that's the only boss that you can escape in this game. No other boss arena has like an active loading zone like that. But anyway, I'm not nearly as comically overleveled as I would like to be to fight that boss. But that'll change in a second. So we're gonna be coming up on our first actual boss fight. Again, a quote-unquote, because it's not much of a fight. This is our first optional side quest boss that we're gonna see. He's way too powerful for us to really take it a fair fight. So we're gonna be using turbo. So the interesting thing about Dogi is that the first hit of his attack combo, this is how I understand how it works. It comes out on the first frame, and then you can immediately cancel it with a guard. And then, basically, you can infinite combo anything to death by just pressing guard and attack really, really, really fast. Although the circumstances have to be right. It works best if you're being pushed into a corner, which, you know, not all boss arenas allow for. So anyway, that's an extremely powerful boss. It had a ton of HP, you probably saw, and killing it brought me from level 1 to level 31, and almost level 32, as you can see by my XP bar. Alright, so here is the second town that we're supposed to visit, which would be home to kind of like the third dungeon, I guess 4th if you count the dark cave that I went through. So that, whatever you saw against the scorpion there, you're going to be seeing that a lot for the first half of the game. What am I doing? Aisha. Okay. So this orange-haired girl's name is Aisha. She is the Princess of Altigo. That's spoilers, but, you know, it's obvious. She's the Princess of Altigo, and she rolls a little bit faster than Adol. So we're going to be using her for movement for, this section. Aisha, as you can see, is also level 1. She's supposed to join at level 10, but I guess the flag to set her as level 10 doesn't exist with all these skips, so she's level 1. So I mean, it's not a big deal if she dies, but it's something you have to keep in mind, and it's why your movement has to be such that you don't run into any enemies. Anyway, here's another optional boss. This guy I can't kill, so I'm just gonna run away, and I'll fight him later. So here's the Flame Shrine. Here's a bit of a... oh, I think I just got Aisha killed. I did. It's fine. Alright. Alright, here's an RNG moment. So, yeah, this thing he's doing where he's swinging his hammer back is not what I want him to do. I want him to do this, where he butt stomps me. Alright. And that'll launch me into this elevator. I wanted him to kind of... I wanted to kind of land at a different spot, like just outside the elevator, which would take me right into the loading zone. So anyway, that's why it doesn't matter if Aisha dies, because if I hit that monument there, I'll bring her back. Anyway, here's the mini-boss. So a lot of these, like, Dogi spam kills are also RNG because only certain moves can really cause them to work. I'll just finish him off normally, since I stunned him. Alright, that was bad, that was slow, but we got it done. We got him good and dead. So that's a little piece of tech, kind of a recent one that we found, where if you open the menu at the same time that you open one of those chests that has a special item in it that will cause the item jingle to play, you can actually just use the menu and then you can save and load, and that'll skip the wait time for the chest. So that chest gave us an item that'll let us walk on lava. So that is pretty much required to progress the dungeon. I'm sure we'll find something that makes that unnecessary, but for now we need it. So the rest of the dungeon will be done as normal. There isn't going to be any like butt stomping launch skips. Is this race close right now? I can't really see the other two feeds. I'm gonna look at them every now and again, but I'm surprised it's close at this point. So this is the boss of the dungeon. He's a particularly bad troll because he really only has one move. This is it that I can use to kill him. Hopefully he does it again. If he doesn't do it again, I'll just spam, I guess. Nah, he'll... yeah, there we go. There we go. So that's like our first real boss of the run done, and every time you beat a boss in one of these shrines, you'll get access to the altar here, and that will give us a new ability. This one is the one that gives us fast travel. So, in order to demonstrate us, they make us fast travel back to Segram. We're gonna have a little bit of a chat with Mustafa here as the elder of the village, and then he's gonna leave us. We weren't really using him, but he was in our party for a little bit. I don't think we've had E6 of the marathon yet, but that's if you've played E6, you know that guy. That's Gaius. So back to Altago we go. So I'm gonna kill these guys because they have a chance to drop a item called the Monster Hide. I'm gonna need 20 of them in the run. There's a number of materials I'll have to collect. I've already picked up a chest that had saplings in it. So most of the materials I need are in chests, but the monster hides are not, so I have to farm them. Later on there'll be some snakes that we can kill, and they will have a 90% chance to drop the monster hide. Oh yeah, E6 recently found some movement tech. I forgot about that. Anyway, here's what's supposed to be the first boss in the game. As we're about like 25, 30 levels higher than we're supposed to be fighting it, so he's gonna go down kind of fast. Alright, so I just learned the skill, Strength Blast, which, basically, in this game, skills are attached to your weapons, although you can only use that skill if you have that weapon equipped, unless you use it enough times. So because that guy was at 1 HP, when I used my special to finish him off, which is it's a scripted sequence that you're forced to use your special to finish him off. But when I did, he was dead after the first hit, so I tried to open the map, which put a text box up on the screen, and that canceled the rest of the animation. So got a couple more monster hides. I usually have a counter that tells me that I like plug in to show how many I have at the moment, but I don't have that open, so I'm probably gonna check the inventory periodically. That's 12, so I only need 8 more. So now I'm on my way to the first village in the game, which is Shano. This game, the way it handles like story triggers is kind of strange, because there are some that are like hard fixed into the map, and then there are some that won't trigger unless you have completed prior story triggers. I'll explain what I mean when it's relevant. So like, there's a monster hide. Got stuck. Yeah, it's 18. So right here, there's supposed to be a cutscene where a kid comes up and steals something that we're holding, but I guess since we don't have that item, it doesn't trigger, and we didn't. 24. But that's good that we don't have to watch any more cutscenes, because that wastes time. But as you can see right here, I'm about to enter this screen, and there's the kid right there. So this cutscene is fixed, or this event is like fixed into the map, which is good because that means the boss actually spawns. Quote unquote boss, anyway. As you can see, it didn't last very long. You know, despite the fact that we're like ludicrously overleveled for that boss, I think it's still slightly faster to just turbo spam him to death than it is to kill him normally, which would still be probably viable, given we can beat him in probably like 5 or 6 hits. Anyway, so that kid, his name is Elk, and he just joined our party. He is significantly faster than anybody else in the game when it comes to rolling speed, so I'm going to be putting him in the front for now. So one thing, I'm someone who's kind of used to running any percent in this game, which does not unlock fast travel. So I have to like kind of force myself to remember to hit those warp monuments, otherwise they won't be available later. Ideally, I want to avoid that puddle since it slows me down a little bit, but it's not a big deal. So that is a piece of great tree sap that is used to grow branches out of the edges of these platforms here. And that'll create a bridge for me to cross. Make another one here. So this dungeon's going to be pretty straightforward up until I get a certain point where I get a chest. Oops. So this is a piece of shoes that lets me walk on spikes. And now I can just warp here. I'm not allowed to be able to warp at this point in the game, but I do have the warp ability, so I will be using it. And this will create some more amusing effects later on. So we're coming up on the spider boss. I guess he's a spider. He has 6 legs. I'm just now looking at the game feed. You've already seen this boss on the other 2 runners' feeds at this point. So basically you have to destroy his legs, and after you destroy his legs, you can hit his nose, and when you kill his nose, he dies. So I'm not supposed to be able to leave the town until I've completed this mission fully, but there's no flag to block fast travel since ordinarily you don't have it unlocked at this point yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit up this shrine. I don't think I really need to talk to this shrine, but it does unlock passive abilities, so it will be worth it to talk to it first. And then I'm going to kidnap Elk and go back to Altigo. So, Elk is not supposed to be here, but he is here. I went the wrong way. Got my story triggers slightly confused. I'm actually supposed to go to here and talk to Tia. I didn't talk about who Tia is. She's a girl who lives in the slums and makes medicine for people. That's pretty much it. Wink, wink. So her sister's very sick, so we gotta find some kind of magic cure for her illness. And this Wario-looking guy in the shop up here apparently has some, so we're gonna go talk to him. He won't give it to us because he doesn't want to, so we gotta go back, tell her that we couldn't get any. And it turns out they're keeping a bunch of them in the sewers, which probably would have been more convenient to check first before we talk to the rich merchant, but... Anyway, time for an escort mission. Well, that depends. Stogie might have killed him if he tried to punch back, because then he could guard off of him and infinite combo him. So what the main strat here for this escort here is to kind of push the enemies out of the way, so that they don't tackle Tia and make her fall behind. I don't think she can die or anything like that, but basically if I get too far ahead of her, it's not going to let me go to the next screen. So... yeah, see, she got knocked over. Now I got to wait for her to catch up. I think I can just go, actually. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, she got stuck on a corner. That's the worst. Alright, go over here, Tia. Oh, no, Tia, not the fish. Yeah, that's what I thought. She can heal the whole... if, like, somebody takes too much damage, she'll just heal the whole party, and she can heal herself as well. I think I can go here, yeah. So here's another troll boss. You've probably already seen it on the other two runner screens at this point. With any luck, maybe they're still fighting him. I want him to shoot bubbles out of his chest. Basically. That's really the only thing I want to see him do, but he won't do it, obviously. And even if he does do it, he, like, spins around a lot, so I might... oh! That's not really the one move I wanted. I wanted the one where he opens up his chest and shoots the bubbles. That'll help a little bit. Alright, just kill him normally, I guess. Oh, this is so bad. The thing you'll notice, despite the fact that I'm, like, way too strong to be fighting this boss, it hardly makes a difference sometimes, because they just have so much health in this game. Even this is on the lowest difficulty, and all the bosses are still sponges. Anyway, so that's the treatment for the medicine. Get out of here. All right.
Let's do this.
Anyway, so, like, despite the huge discrepancy in power, that's why it's generally still the fastest option to use Dogi spam to kill the bosses. Okay, so our next destination is going to be another village. This is the fastest way to get there. So, another one of the materials I want to collect is the iron ore. I need 20 of them, and a chest I'm going to pick up has 10. 5, 6... okay. So I want to get 10 more from gathering points like that one. Unless there's another chest that I, like, forgot about. But I think it's in my best interest to just take them from the gathering points. What did I have? 6? I already forgot how many I had. I think I have 6. Best to assume that I have less than I'm thinking, because I'm also thinking I might have 7. Alright, so we're on our way to the next village. There's Elk standing still again. I haven't been pointing out, but some people have noticed that, like... Anyway, so here's Gaius. He wants to fight me. He has no idea what kind of trouble he's in by asking me to fight me. Because I'm level 32. And he's like 26 or something.
Let's do it.
Also, suddenly, Aisha. Because, my party here is supposed to be Aisha and Dogi, but they took Dogi and Aisha out for that solo fight, and then it's scripted to put them both back in. So Elka's not with us right now, although he is in the I can switch him out in the menu, and I'm gonna do that later. But then Aisha's just forced back to the party there. Who's leading? Last I checked, it was Tika. I can check again. Oops. Yeah, both the other runners are ahead of me. I can't tell who's in front, but they're both in the dungeon coming up.
All right.
Oops. Oh, my lord. So I'm gonna grab that chest. That has a panacea in it, which cures all status effects. It'll be handy to have on hand in the event that a boss fight goes far, far south. Yes, the boss upcoming on easy mode can inflict confuse. And I think there's some of the other bosses coming up can do freeze. Sometimes it's just worth it to, even though freeze is like temporary, it's worth it to just, or you can mash out of it, it's worth it to just like cure it. I didn't put on the cape thing. Alright, so coming up, there's going to be another chest I want to pick up that has another material in it that I want to have. That one is monster horns, I think. Oh my lord. So I have a bind that opens the chests and the menu at the same time, but it doesn't always cooperate with me. So like, yeah, these little cutscenes of like the fans turning and stuff are just not fast forwardable. So sometimes I look at my phone during it and I'm very absent-minded, and then I end up like making a mistake, like rolling in the wrong direction. Anyway, so I picked up a revive item in that chest. That's also just good to have in case. Looking on Shano's screen right now, he's fighting the next boss, and it looks like he's giving him a really hard time. But I think he's just about finished him up now. Oh, so close. Yeah, so like the Dogi spam kill is just very iffy sometimes. I actually want to, and I'm gonna actually make a save here in case that also happens to me. Sometimes you just get trolled so hard that the fastest thing to do is Alt F4 and try the boss again. That's why I made the save. What are you doing, bird? Do something. Oh, don't do that over and over again. That doesn't help me at all. Okay, that's another pretty big R. I mean, you already know this. You've been watching the other racers, but that's a pretty, that bird is a big RNG choke point, and it's good to be over it. Sometimes they don't want to die like really fast like that, and then they're at like half health.
Let's do this.
And then they do some like stupid move. Or some like stupid phase change that makes it harder to kill him. God. Shoot. Okay, whatever, just do this. So the way the cursor on the map works is that you can use the control stick. Use an analog stick to kind of drag your cursor around, or you can snap right to them, the different points with the D-pad. However, my computer thinks that the analog, or the D-pad on my PS2 controller is an analog stick, so I have to use the keyboard if I want to do that. Sometimes it's just too hard for me. Alright, so the story here. There's another element shrine that we have to go to, and it's on a lost island. First, I'm going to do a save and load here. That'll trigger this cutscene. This is a cutscene from earlier in the game. I have to clear it, or it'll cause a soft lock later. Then I also have to watch this one. Okay, so now I can go carry on with the story. A lot of stuff is going to happen out of order just because of how badly we've broken the game at this point.
Let's do it.
Hello. So the next shrine is the water shrine. It's on an old island, and it just so happens that like the king is a descendant of the elder of the village or something. So he gave us a magical thingy, and that'll help us or something. Okay, I actually don't remember the story of this game that well. I don't really remember the finer details. I know some of the big parts. So one or both of the other runners is probably pretty close to fighting the octopus now, who is even worse than the bird. For reasons I hopefully won't have to go into. Crash the ship? Not this time. Here's another annoying trick coming up. Nope. Ah, let's load. This is really hard to time. Ah, forget it then. We'll do it normally. At a certain point, if you fail that a certain amount of times, it's just like not worth it. I'm sure both the other runners already got it, so you've probably seen it at least. Oh, no, I gotta talk to this. So here's a fight. Ah, didn't. Couldn't quite finish him off with Aisha, but they were almost dead, so pretty fast to just finish it with Adol. Dude, what are you doing? Oh god. Alright, last one, last try. Alright. Just open it then. That's an annoying one to like not get because then this cutscene would be skipped. So that's a talisman that lets me breathe underwater. Incidentally, also has the effect of having you wade a little bit faster through shallow water. That is a shield that gives... It's for Adol. Only Adol can equip that shield. And it gives a pretty decent amount of defense. I don't remember exactly how much, but it also gives plus 10 strength. So that's nice to have. You kind of have to go a little bit out of your way for it, but because you can skip the jingle, it's definitely worth it to pick it up. So we're going to take the wind cape out for another spin, as there is one more fan here. To get up onto this ledge, which will have a nice chest for us. It'll have the Knight's Crest, which increases experience gain. And then another chest up here has a weapon for Adol called the Astoke. What that does is it changes his attack type to Pierce. And Adol's piercing weapons have him do a little thrusting animation when you charge up an attack and release it, and that actually does make me move slightly faster. I didn't really talk about weapon damage types. It doesn't really come into play at all in the run, but it's basically a weakness system. Basically, some enemies are weak to being splashed, some are to being pierced, some to being struck. But like I said, it's not a thing in this run, really. Alright, octopus. Octopus, 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 squid, squid, whatever it is. 6 tentacles, so probably a squid. Oh, oh, oh. I screwed up. Oh, I get another shot, I get another shot. Oh, oh. That was close to me getting trolled at the last second there. So my run's not been very good so far, but I at least got the bird and the octopus super quick. Here is the water altar. What this one unlocks is it gives us the ability, it upgrades our extra skill, which is that, you know, that yellow thing on the corner. Gives us stronger X moves. And there's actually going to be a few instances where we get our X moves upgraded, and what that does is it actually also has the effect of filling up our X meter automatically. So that'll be useful for the next fight coming up, because I'll just instantly I'll have an X move ready to go. So that chest has the Power Wrist 2 in it. I think it increases my strength by 20 or 30 or something. One thing about all three of us is that I think we all do things slightly differently. I believe that Shano is going to pick up... He's going to pick up that Power Wrist 2, but he's going to do it later, and I think Tika also picked it up just then. Oh, whoops. So what I want to do is I want to guard his attack like that. I didn't mention this, but like guarding an attack also gives you a slight damage buff on your attacks for the next few seconds. So if it's convenient to do so, you always want to guard. So anyway, it turns out that while we were gone, the king got killed, and we were framed for it because we were, the damning evidence against us that we're the people that assassinated the king is that we were the last person he talked to before he died, which is more than enough to sentence us to death without trial, and our punishment will be death by boss fight. So looking at the screen, looks like Shano just about got done with the fight that I'm about to do, and Tika's been done with it probably for a little bit longer. So the strat for this fight is I want to hammer the guard button as much as I can. I want to fill up my X meter before I fill up his stun meter. Which is kind of hard to do if you're not turboing. In order to efficiently do this, I want him to kind of push me into a corner like that while I guard. That roll attack is also really good for filling up my X meter really fast. So the reason I want to do that is so that I can use my X skill while he's stunned for extra damage. I actually missed with the first few hits of it, so I'm behind on damage slightly. Die! Oh my god, die, 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 die. He's at 35 health, please die! Oh my god. That's actually kind of funny. So Dogi and Gaius show up to bail us out, and then Gaius reveals to me that he's got a completely new mission for me. So not only are we wanted fugitives at this point, but we also have other stuff to do. So he wants to go to the hill, which is a little bit to the west here. On the top of the hill, there is an entrance to a hidden lost village. And the standing elder of that village wants to speak to us. So basically, this section of the game is going to be like unlocking a second quest for us, almost like Super Mario Brothers in a way. We have to go to back to all the shrines. They're going to disable the warp points, so we have to activate them again. And there's going to be another dungeon inside. Tika is already inside one of those dungeons, and well, I'll just spoil it a little bit. He's only in there to get a chest, and then he's going to kind of deviate from the main quest for a bit with a little bit of sequence breaking. Do not forget to hit this warp. Okay, so gotta pick up this chest here. It has a dragon energy drop in it. What that does is it replenishes my skill meter to full. And that will be useful a couple times. I'm going to be picking up 3 of them. I think the other 2 runners are going to be picking up 4. I think it's only really, like, quote-unquote necessary to do it once. And even then, if you get lucky, you won't have to use it. But it's good to have a stockpile of them at the very least. Because it can save time later on, if in a pinch. We're going to be relying a little bit on a skill that is going to cost the full 100 SP of the skill meter. So I'm not looking at the feed right now. I assume I'm assuming that Tika is just about ready to enter the final dungeon, which is what we're on our way, which is what I'm on my way to go collect the means to do so. What happens is we gathered materials to create a weapon called the log hammer for Mustafa, and once we create that weapon, it'll teach him a skill called Empower, which is it's a buff kind of skill. I should hit this warp. I forgot a chest. I have to go back for it later. And I'd rather just do it later. I have to remember that I missed the chest, though. So what Empower does is you hit your allies with a hammer and it will raise their strength. But if you switch that ally really, really fast and guard, it'll launch you in the air. And pretty much any invisible wall from that point on will become a suggestion. Alright. And you're going to be seeing it a lot, because you can do it wherever you like, almost. So I'm going back to the Earth Shrine. I'm going to be entering the Earth Sanctum, and the last material I need is for the log hammer. Is going to be in this dungeon. It's called the Earth Stone. There's going to be 20 of them in a chest. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to warp out, and I'm going to buy the log hammer, and then the game will be El Busto from that point onwards, as if it hasn't been already. Hello? Oh, I gotta talk to it first. Actually, do I need that? I might save. Yeah, it might be a better idea to not get the chest that I missed and make up the material somewhere else. I'll think about it a little bit. Yeah, so the cutscene of that flower kind of blooming on me so that I can cross it. It's pretty long and cannot be fast forwarded. So that's a pretty good pull out your phone moment in the run. Oh, hello. Back to the village. Oh my goodness. I forgot to hit the warp. I have to go do that after this. Good thing I noticed. Yeah, that'll be it. I gotta go hit the warp now. I might as well do it. Alright, so I'm gonna leak a bit of time here because I forgot a few things and I have to go do them. So I gotta touch this warp point, and I have to go get the chest that I forgot. And I'll do that now. This one's a little bit out of the way, so it's frustrating, but it is what it is. In the route that I use, there's not really going to be much of an opportune time to do it later, so I'm going to go do it now. Oh, I forgot. Okay. Actually, I'm going to want to... Alright. So there's a turn back trigger there. I can easily... You just saw the launch trick just then. I used it to get over that turn back trigger. Okay. Now we go back to Iska, and that'll put us right outside the final dungeon. So I estimate I probably have a 5-minute deficit at this point. The white noise, that's my AC. I apologize for that. Here's the Well of Souls, the final dungeon of the game. I've gone from being absurdly overleveled to very, very weak. And pretty much anything here will kill me. With maybe the exception of some of the less threatening enemies. Alright. So, it's not necessary to launch over that wall. I do have the item that will open that door for me, but it is faster because there's no cutscene if I do that. So I'm gonna hit this warp here. I can actually, if I want to, just go to the end of the dungeon, but I want to pick up some weapons before I do that. So I gotta go to this room first. And I'm not here to finish the game anyway. I'm here to get stuff and levels. Better off just load. The thing that stinks about this trick with the launching is that the person you're hitting has to be standing still, and they like to go running off and chasing enemies. So you have to, like, if there are any enemies nearby, sometimes you have to kill them. The save and load before I do that is to kind of get the enemies out of the way. Like, he's gonna run off for those guys. Oh, I need that chest. I need that chest. What am I doing? Ugh. At any percent, you don't need that chest, but that's why I think my muscle memory did not get it. So that's a weapon for Aisha. The one I just picked up is a weapon for Dogi. Here's one for Adol. If those guys spit fire on me, I just die. I don't die, but like Adol dies, and that's annoying. Ugh. Oh no. Alright, I'll just do it from here then. This is a little bit easier. If Mustafa would come join me, that'd be great. So yeah, we're kind of just doing the dungeon in segments. So we can just jump over a bunch of walls and not have to do a lot of puzzles and skip some items that we would need. E7's about 20 hours normally. 20, 25 maybe. Alright. So, in addition to teaching Mustafa and Power, I also disabled his AI from using any skills except for one called Provoke. And what that'll do is, that big red circle will go, and it'll drop all these enemies' defense to 0, which basically makes it possible to kill them at all, even though I was level 34 and they're like level 50-something. So, this is going to be the grinding section. I'm just going to get a ton of levels. The one I'm aiming for is 58 in particular. I do not see how this game would take 60 hours to beat, but there are a lot of side quests in it. Most of them I just never did. Okay. I'm at 55 right now. I'm gonna get 58, and then I'm gonna kill one more like round of these guys as well to set up the experience route to get me to a higher level a little bit later. Not really necessary, but I like to do it. So I guess, I didn't really, I mean, you can probably gather this, but saving and loading the game respawns the enemies. So that's why I'm doing that after I kill them. I'll kill one more. Alright, so I'm done here. Alright, the other two runners do this a little bit differently than me. I'm going to warp to Iska. You probably saw them go to Shano after that farm. I'm going to take a slightly different path. I think I timed this to be like 20 seconds faster than what they did, but there's a lot to take into consideration, so I'm not sure, really. So if I go onto this screen, there's going to be a trigger on this screen that puts a very long, very pointless, very unfast-forwardable cutscene. So I'm going to just launch myself over it so I can get through without having to watch that. Those are the guys they sent to find me, since I'm, like, you know, on the lam and everything. 3, 4. 24. Okay, that's should be 20, 25. Crazy. And I just kind of like ran by them because I'm not supposed to actually cross that trigger. Tika is almost certainly in first. He's very good at this. Yeah, I did just think of a way that I could have avoided having to go back and get that extra chest, but, you know, it is what it is. I could have harvested a few more of those gathering points, but the problem is it's RNG how many items you get from it, and it's a chance that I might not get enough. So I guess I just didn't want to risk that. So I have to reactivate this warp point here. So I'm going to do that, and then leave. So I have to launch over this wall because there's not supposed to be a way to get across it from this side. So I'm going to go back to that dark cave again, but through a different side. This one I can't launch over. I think the wall just goes too high, but so I have to use the bell that will open the door. If you're wondering how I know how to get through this dungeon, I don't think it shows up on stream, but I can faintly see where I'm going with my graphic settings the way they are. I have noticed that when I watch my VODs, it still just looks like pitch black, but I can kind of see where I'm going. So if you remember that giant from the beginning of the run, he's back. And now he isn't anymore. Oh, perfect guarding the bosses, the optional bosses at low level, huh? I might have done a little bit of that earlier. All three of us might have. So I think our paths are going to converge here, and probably the other two runners have already been through this part. I can check right now. But we're gonna be now fighting the 5 dragons of Altigo. And the first one that you can fight even without sequence breaks, you can fight them in any order, or the first 3 you can fight in any order. And we're gonna be opting to do the fire dragon first. Oh, they killed the fire already. Oh my god. I got catching up to do. Oh, Shano's already getting Cruxy right now. Oh, he does it a little bit earlier than us, though. Or than I do, anyway. So anyway, defeating that giant worm unlocks Dogi's most strongest extra skill, and the extra skill is it's glitched, as you would expect from Dogi. If you can queue a skill at it's basically a giant punch, and if input a skill at the same time as like the big final hit, which already hits for like an insane amount of damage, it'll trigger twice. So this just kind of melts bosses. You've probably already seen it on the fire dragon on our other runner's screen, and if you did and were wondering what happened, that is what happened. What have I done? I'm out of bounds. Rip. So here's the power res 3, increases my strength by 50. I'll be putting that on Dogi once I put him in the party. Actually, no, I want Mustafa still, and I want Dogi. Come on, dude. Put Dogi here and equip that. What do I want to do to you? Disable your skills? Yeah. Okay. I think that's everything. Can someone tell me if they've seen the Wind Dragon on Shano's screen at all, or is he fighting him? Is he fighting the dragons in a different order? Because I'm surprised. I just saw him kill the Earth Dragon. I'm surprised that he's that far. So what I did is I launched Adel in the air, and that actually skips a cutscene trigger. A giant lava monster is going to come out of the middle of the screen and start chasing me, but don't have to watch that. Okay, so Shano is gonna fight the Wind Dragon later. I just saw. Oh, I have to put the walk on lava thing on. No, that's not it. That's... Here we go. Yep, okay. So I hope you enjoyed that boss fight. That was, exhilarating. Okay, so Tika does wind then earth, but Shano does earth and wind. I also do I do wind first as well, but I don't really think it matters. There was a time where we all did earth first, but okay, and then we to the middle. Yeah. All right, I just kind of got caught up with where they are in general. Anyway, here's a boss in the final dungeon. I might as well fight him now since I can. Alright, got the fast kill on both of them. That's good. Except he doesn't want to die. There we go. So one thing that you probably didn't see the other two runners do is collect the chest here. That's just past this boss fight. I think Tika was getting this chest for a while and then he stopped. Shano doesn't get this chest. They get the 20 Titano bones somewhere else. Where do I want to go again? I want to go here. Oh god, I don't have enough SP. I just realized this. Oh. Okay, it's fine. We're fine. I got the moonstones, right? I have a vague recollection of getting them, but I might not. I might have forgotten them. I did forget them. Alright, I gotta go pick up another chest. But it's fine. I got the warp marker, so it's not a big deal. I guess I must have touched it unconsciously, knowing that I would forget this chest. Well, that's irritating, but that is not as much of a time sink as that other chest that I had to get. Yeah. Forgot to put on. Oh, hello. So anyway, what I did in that shop was I bought a weapon for Adol called the Urshel. What I forgot to do was I forgot to equip him with Beatdown or Dominator or whatever it's called. A very powerful skill attached to this weapon. It is also Adol's strongest pierce weapon. I'm not supposed to be able to get it because the materials that I unlocked are like super late game materials. I think you can only get them in the final dungeon, but I was in the final dungeon already, so I have it. I think after I beat this boss, I'll, like, start looking at the feed again, because they should be close to finishing the game after that. Like, it's gonna be... If Tika's getting Cruxy, he's about to go to the Water Dragon, and then after that it'll be Moon Dragon, and then Endgame. So I'll want to be there for that. Altigo Palace. Oh, yeah, that would be where Sias is. So if you suspected that there was something up with Sias because he had Sephiroth hair, then you were right. I don't want to hit that, it's fine. Right. I hope you like empowers and hammers and flying and stuff like that. There's going to be a lot of that here. Spoiler alert for true antagonist. The true antagonist was Mustafa this whole time, apparently, because he doesn't want to get him over the edge. Alright, there we go. Thankfully, that's a pretty short invisible wall, so even if I get a crappy launch, I can get over here. What I really want to be careful of with killing those enemies is that, I don't want their loot to drop on the other side of this barrier here, because then I can't collect it, but my characters are still going to try to chase it and get it, and then they won't sit still and I can't launch them, which will make me very sad. Alright, well, I'll note the strat for the Sias fight. The first Sias fight is unwinnable. Once he gets down, on easy mode, once he gets down to 2,4,200 HP, 24,200 HP. I loaded by accident. Then the enemy respawns. Okay. So once he gets down to like half HP, he starts blocking all damage and you can't hurt him anymore. But once he gets to that point, he starts using a really strong attack that just basically one-shots you. So the strat there is to damage him down really low, and then basically just get killed by that move. Because the only way you can progress the story at that point is to just die. Press the button! So this barrier I have to press the button to get rid of because the invisible barrier around it is just too high to jump over. Grab another one of these. Dragon energy drops.
Let's go.
Ah, dude.
Let's go.
Ah, I forgot. I keep forgetting that you can actually just launch directly onto this platform. And then I don't turbo for long enough. So that's like hardly a boss at all. Now we're coming on the Wind Dragon. The strat's going to be the same as the Fire Dragon. I guess it's worth noting that the timing is not really reliable. So sometimes you won't proc the double hit glitch. And then you're sad because you're losing time. So I missed the kill there, so I gotta finish him off normally. It won't take too long. Like I said, I'm very over-leveled. Remember Curse? Dude, I don't know why I got Cursed that one time. That's just not a thing that should ever happen. I legitimately did not think that Curse existed on easy mode. I thought it was Nightmare only for a while. I'd only seen it on Nightmare. Alright, so Earth Dragon time. Earth Dragon is actually such a pushover I do not even need, I don't even need Dogi. No, wait, it's not because he's a pushover, it's because it's, he's a multi-phase boss and it doesn't really help me to use the insta-kill. But he's also a pushover. Alright. So this boss, I mean this dungeon, you've seen it already. I had to go in here to get the Earth Stones. But now it's even shorter. I went out of bounds and now I'm sad because I didn't save. So I gotta do this part again.
Let's go.
There we go.
My turn.
There we go. Oh, never mind. Alright. Water Dragon. Water Dragon is my least favorite boss in the run, and there's a lot of crummy RNG bosses in this game, but Water Dragon just makes me the most annoyed. He can basically just decide to just kill a bunch at a time. At any given moment, pretty much. you'll notice the first phase, he goes into a cave and starts swimming around in circles, and you have to kill all of his parts, and that'll start the second phase. But the thing is, he can just swim out of the cave whenever he wants, pretty much. Ice physics is almost I almost want to say it's the least annoying thing about the fight. Well, at least when he does ice physics, that means he's going to sit still for a second. Because another thing is, in the second phase, he likes to move around a lot. And he's really hard to hit. Anyway, this boss has 3 phases, pretty much. The third phase is, as you can see, it's skippable. No, I'm actually way behind the other 2. They both did this boss already. But it's fine, I knew I was going to be behind them. Okay, so now I gotta get Cruxy now. So basically, after I kill the fire dragon, I get the fire dragon stone, or whatever it's called, and that, because Cruxy's also like really sick, just like Maya was, and the fire dragon stone can treat her illness, or make it better at least, or something like that. So she wants to stay with us because we have it, and she actually replaces Mustafa in our party. Alright, I'm gonna have the feed open now, so you don't have to. I don't need the updates anymore about where the runners are. Like, I see Shano just killed Moondragon, or at least he did on my screen. Or not Moondragon, Water Dragon. Although, Tika is about to kill Moondragon, because that's a very fast fight. Oh, I see that, Tika took Dogi into the rest of the game. I think for a while he was doing a strat where strat, I guess you can call it that, but, he was gonna stop using Dogi after Sayas. That's what he did. That's what he does in his most recent PV, and that's what I'm going to do because So using Dogi on the Water Dragon is ultimately faster because actually more so that it cuts down on menuing, but it's such a high risk for not much reward in my opinion because, or at least for the time being. I'll eventually learn how to do it, but like I said, the Water Dragon. The Water Dragon likes to move around a lot, and he won't sit still for Dogi to land his big punch. So it just ends up being more trouble than than it's worth it to me. Anyway, here's the last optional boss. Easily the weakest out of all of them. So like he's dead already. Alright, Tika's fighting Sayas right now, and Shano's about to start Moondragon. So Tika will actually be on the final boss shortly. The final boss casualty is a bit irritating because you're forced to use all 7 characters. We only need to use 3 because you can use 1 character at a time and just kind of ignore everybody else. So the party that the setup we're going to be rolling with is we're going to be using Dogi for the first phase because the first phase makes you use Dogi Alchemishera. We're going to be using Aisha for the second phase, which makes you use Aisha, Cruxy, and Gaius, although you can opt to switch to Cruxy briefly to build up the stun meter because that's a pretty important mechanic on the second phase. And then the third phase is just Adol by himself, so you have to use Adol. Oh, I always got to remember that there's a giant pillar blocking the way, so I have to go this way. But yeah, before you fight the final boss, you have to fight. Surprise, surprise! It's Tia. She was behind everything all along. And by everything, I mean, I guess the plot of the game, which I haven't really talked much about. So yeah, I've already explained the first Sayas fight, the one that's not winnable. You just get him down to half health and then intentionally take a death.
Let me at it.
Oh yeah, I have to actually kill him, don't I? Nah, he's just let him kill me at this point. I don't know why I didn't do it. I don't know why I didn't do any damage there. Alright, so I screwed up the strat somehow. I think I like missed a hit or something. Just kill me. Despite the fact that he's like super strong and like unbeatable, apparently he likes to miss his attacks a lot, which is annoying. So yeah, I see Tika's on the first phase of the final boss right now. The Dogi spam strat makes a return because you can use that to kill off the heads of the monster you're fighting, which are required to damage the boss. You can do that really fast. And then you can just spam his X move and his strong skill, Grand Slam, and that'll take it down really quickly. He's on the second phase now. For this one, the boss takes pitiful damage until you stun him. So basically, what you want to do is you want to stun him, and then you want to use Aisha once he's stunned to... I want to go in the wrong way. To build up your extra gauge really fast. So Aisha is... she has a passive ability to fill up the extra gauge really fast, and she has a skill, one that I just equipped to her, in fact, called Cataract Blue, and that, like, if you use that on a stunned enemy, basically it fills up your extra gauge halfway, so you can just use it twice. You can buffer up an SP refill with a charged attack, and, what am I doing? And get, 2 Cataract Blue uses within the stun cycle, and then you can basically just get 2 extra moves in the stun cycle as well, and that will kill him really fast. So yeah, he's on the last extra move right now on my screen. And at 132, Tika is on the last phase of the final boss, which is very good pace. I think he's on pace. He's definitely on pace for a sub 140, maybe even like a 138 or something. But anyway, the final phase of the final boss is just spam, basically. That's all it is, just spam Dominator. You have to kill those 4 ads before you can damage it. So there's that to worry about. And actually, what you want to do, the last one... Oh, never mind. He's not doing that. I was going to say the last... The last ad you want to take out like really fast, because then you can skip like his like hurt animation. I'll just gonna hit this button before the final part of the final phase, if you do it fast enough. I should instead of talking about the final boss, I should focus on my gameplay here. So yeah, same as usual here, just spam and power, launch out all in the air. This time Cruxy's doing it, not Mustafa. But other than that, same as it ever was. Am I gonna fall out of bounds? I'm not. Okay. So, it's worth noting Tika is finished with the final boss, but time is actually not until you see the Finn on the screen after the ending cutscene. And the ending cutscene is not skippable, although the credits are. So, basically you have to watch the entire ending. It takes about 3 minutes. 4 minutes, maybe, if you include the other cutscene. And then when Finn shows up on screen, that'll be time for, you know, whoever is there. Yeah, I call this the uh-oh room, because it makes me go, uh-oh. There's a lot of holes in the ground that can make you lose a lot of progress if you hit them. Oh, shit. I'm just gonna do this. You can launch over this stairs and skip them, but it's kind of hard, and I wasn't doing it very well, so I chose not to. So yeah, I kind of explained this boss already. You have to destroy these little parts that he has. Hopefully he sits still long enough for me to do it before he leaves the cave. He can just decide he wants to leave the cave anyway. Yeah, he's doing it now. Now, I want to see what he does here, because one thing, he can be nice to me and go back in the cave. Right now he wants to waste time and make a big whirlpool that pushes me around a lot. So I've not actually seen this in a while. In fact, I think he might only do it if I chase him outside of the cave. I actually don't know. I'm gonna go back inside the cave see and test that theory right now, because I think he'll just come inside and try to find me. Yeah, here he is. Okay. Alright. Alright, let's see what he decides to do here. GG for Shano, he just finished off the final form. I'll just do this now. Tika looking to have a high 137, I think, which is very, very good. Oh my goodness, that was actually a really good second phase on the Water Dragon for me. Oh, he might just barely go over the 138 mark. I forget, like, this last part of the cutscene is very slow for some reason. Back to Altigo, pick up the key to open the thingamajig. So 138, I didn't quite see when Finn faded in, but it was a 138, like, something teen or 20-something. Super consistent performance over like from Tika lately. Yeah. Okay, so this boss is 2 phases. The first phase, I just want to get him to about 49,000 HP, and then he'll go to the second phase. I do this by spamming Dominator a lot, basically. That's kind of all it is. And then the strategy I described earlier for the second phase of the final boss also applies here if you have Aisha in the party, which the other 2 runners did not. They put Dogi in. You can basically buffer in 2 Cataract Blue skills, and then you can get a second extra really, really fast. So I'm going to make sure I have the SP to actually do that first of all, and then I'm going to let my extra rip on the tail, which is his weak point. It's also worth noting that after that first phase, when you stun him, his weak point becomes his head and remains his head for the rest of the fight. But the rest of the fight doesn't really exist there because I just straight up killed him dead. That's 140 something, I think. All right, so this is the second size fight. This one's actually winnable. Basically, all I do against on this fight is just spam, and eventually he dies. Ah, come on, dude. All right. Ideally, I don't miss guards like that. Ideally, I don't miss hits and get launched in the air like that either. But, you know, it is what it is. 140.49, okay. Couldn't quite see what the last digit was. I've just noticed that I do not have any healing. I'm gonna probably want to go buy some healing. Forgot to buy healing. Yeah, use this. I got him. What is the nearest shop, I wonder? I think it is Kylos. That's embarrassing. Okay, that's 5 is enough, and then maybe a couple of these. Alright, go back. So it is faster to launch over the door than it is to open it because there's a cutscene. That's pretty much it. Oh, also I want to disable empower, which actually I never enabled it. I was supposed to do that a while ago. Yeah, shout out to this game's entire OST. Very good. This one I also wanted to spam, basically. Ideally, I have a full extra at the start of this fight, but I ended up burning one at the end of the Sias fight because... Okay. I ended up burning one at the end of the Sias fight because I didn't want to die. Very fast fight regardless. Alright, so I've explained the mechanics of this fight already, and there's not really too much to talk about. Like I said, when these heads come down, I want to basically spam turbo against them. Ideally, I want to see the ice, because it's easier to do. Oh, I don't have a full extra, do I? Alright, well, this is what these are for. Alright, see, he's almost dead because I double hit with my super skill there. Oh, hello, he wants to do this right now? I mean, don't mind if I do. That's the only way that you can do that glitch up against the main body, but it's very rare for it to ever use that move. But it's very fast when he does. So yeah, I'm switching to Cruxy here to build the stun faster because that Ignis Blaze skill builds stun super fast. Alright, what are you doing? Oh no. I wasn't prepared for it to get stunned so soon. Alright, 2000 HP, no problem. Okay, I missed the one cycle, but it was a pretty fast finish from there. So yeah, that when I kill one of those pillars, he does like a hurt animation, and I can actually move during the first three, but the fourth one freezes me in place. So if I kill him, if I kill a pillar while he's still doing the most recent one he did, it will skip the next one. So that's why I'm saving my extra skill for the last pillar there. If you played E6, this boss is going to look very familiar. It's exactly the same in concept, really. So at this point, I just spam Dominator, and he's gone eventually. There's a little bit of RNG in what moves he uses. I can actually build up my extra meter really fast if he uses, like, the giant laser, for instance. Oh yeah, the estimate was really generous, and it was based on older routes. Also, me not having as much experience with this category. So I guess I apologize for that. I definitely submitted this estimate. I don't know if the other two runners agreed to it. Alright. This accursed game is finally finished. Right, so now the root of all existence is vanquished, and with it, the 5 dragons of all to go, I believe they disappear. Basically all the bad stuff, like natural disasters and evil mist and, you know, Iskin fever are gone with the root of all existence, and because, the world was ending. And, now Tia is also going to disappear, Final Fantasy X style. There's like that last scrolling text box. There's a way to get those characters to like immediately pop, and it saves like a couple seconds, but I can't figure out how to do it consistently. Oh my god, I went over 150. I just saw that. This is a 153. Unfortunate. I had a few brain farts. I forgot a couple chests. I forgot to buy healing items. And then I got trolled by a couple bosses. Most of them were actually pretty kind. Oh yeah, so this cutscene I forgot, the sound ignores your volume settings in game, so it's very loud. I apologize about that. Oh, one thing I have to remember to do, in fact, I might as well just turbo the start button right now, because, like I said, this cutscene isn't skippable. The credits are, but sometimes I just forget to skip the credits, and, then I end up losing time on a split that should be exactly the same every time. Thanks for GG's. Excellent performance from Shano and Tika. A performance from me. I think this run is really cool. I think this game with the turbo strats is awesome to run in general. Any percent's really fun as well. I think all bosses is really fun as well. I'm glad. I think it's a really clever concept to be able to play the game, quote unquote, somewhat normally, using stuff that would ordinarily let you skip half the game. So I'm glad that I was able to run this. Glad to have 2 excellent people to race with. I'm thankful that they reached out to have this race with me on the Falcom RTA marathon. And yeah, it looks like East 1 I think is next. East 1 Chronicles, at least. We've already seen East 1 for PC Engine. So enjoy that. That's a pretty goofy run as well. Or it can be, sometimes. Time. Just in time for my cat to jump up on my desk and try to unplug my monitor. Alright, so that's E7. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great night. Or morning, or whatever.